Gauranga Nityananda 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Gauranga 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 Jesus Jesus Prabhupada 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 Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Nityananda Nityananda Gauranga Gauranga 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 Nityananda Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, Gaurachandra, Vishvambara, 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 Gauranga, Gaurachandra. Gauranga, Gaurachandra, Gauranga, Gaurachandra, Gauranga, Gaurachandra. Gauranga, Gaurachandra, Gauranga, Gaurachandra, Gauranga, Gaurachandra, Gauranga, Gaurachandra. Gauranga, Gaurachandra, Gauranga, Gaurachandra. Dhammaka. Gauranga, Gaurachandra, Gauranga, Gaurachandra. Gauranga, Gaurachandra, Gauranga, Gaurachandra, Gauranga, Gaurachandra. Jaya Sachinandana, 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 Jaya Sachinandana. Sachinandana, Jaya 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 Sachinandana. Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana. Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. River, welcome. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Advaita, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Advaita, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Advaita Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Advaita Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Advaita Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Advaita Nityananda, Sri Krishna Shri Advaita Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Advaita Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Shri Advaita Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Oh, my Lord, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Oh, my God. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Advaita Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Advaita Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Advaita Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Advaita Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Advaita Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna. Okay. Jaya Jaya. Jaya Jaya. Welcome, my friends. Thank you for coming. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Yes. All right. So let's see here. Krishna. Let's see. What kind of mischief can we get into today? Uh, what is this here in front of me? Oh, this is Krishna book. Uh, let's see. Database. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So Adi Lila, Chapter 1, Spiritual Masters. Uh, Here's a nice verse. This is text number 5. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much. Aren't we just the most lucky people in the world? I think we're all the most fortunate. I really feel that way. One is really fortunate just to be able to chant the holy name with great happiness, transcendental happiness. Because the name is transcendental. And if you can become happy chanting this name, well, there you go. You're a liberated soul. Isn't that amazing how easy it is? Yeah, but but the bottom line is, do you taste this transcendental happiness? You've got to taste the transcendental happiness. So that's why chapter 1 of the Adi Lila. Otherwise, you may get liberation, but you really need to have an associate of Lord Caitanya. That's why Prabhupada said that the spiritual master is a resident of Vrindavan. So if you want more than liberation, you might just get the rays, from chanting, and you'd be a liberated soul. But to get the mood and to be deeply attracted to Krishna, you really need an associate. See, in Vaishnavism, they teach mainly do austerities, do renounce the world, stuff like that. It's pretty impractical, actually. You know, and then you think you're going to get that mood that they have in Vrindavan, but it can't be really gotten like that. That's why the books actually teach that. That's why it says to have a spiritual master in chapter 1 of Adi Lila. Okay? But that's not just any spiritual master. In Vaishnavism, it's all they throw these words, his graces, his holinesses around like like uh, just like candy. Here is his grace, his holiness. Yeah. Can you imagine? It's just, and then it becomes like, oh, let's just go and get a spiritual master. Your life depends on that. I mean, real life. Otherwise, you don't have any real life in this world. None of us do. Really do. When I was chanting, the best chanting I ever do is when I remember my actual position of being like a stupid fallen fool, just floating in this universe of Maya, not knowing what is the truth, where to go, what to do, what life is about. See, most people don't realize that. I don't know, somehow or other I realized it. And then, the Lord saves the day, leads me closer to the truth. But the whole world is more or less in that condition. They just, helpless and hopeless, whether they know it or not. You got eyes and you see, but you don't see. You got ears, you hear, but what do you hear? Mundane sound vibrations. What do you see? Mundane objects. And what happens? You get bound to them, overly attached to them, because that's all you see and all you hear. Yeah. And then, those who in the lower modes, people who have a little more crafty intelligence, like right now the demons are in charge mostly, and they use knowledge to control and manipulate and destroy people. Okay? Just like, if you notice demons and the demigods, they use the same information, don't they? They teach you about programming. You know, when I was doing New Age studies, they teach you about affirmations, about how to reprogram the subconscious and all that, right? Good people. They try to, oh, you can have a better life like this, right? Well, the demons do the same thing. They use the same kind of knowledge, right? To do what? To control and manipulate and destroy the world, except them. Talk about selfishness. My God. And so, anyway, the knowledge of the good people, they teach you how to better yourself and all that for a price, right? Oh, you got to pay a lot for it too. Oh, forgot to tell you. See, so there's always more or less motives, material motives for teaching anything or learning anything. That's the good and bad, using knowledge. So, and usually even the good people, the ones that want you to benefit yourself, all they basically know about what you can use this knowledge for that you get for like controlling and manipulating the mind and the subconscious and all that. Oh, you can get a nice, comfortable life in this world. You can get lots of money, a nice boat, a nice, beautiful wife, beautiful guy. What do you want to visualize? What material object do you want to create? Okay? So this is what we got going on in this world. This is called the good and evil. Use even knowledge is used for good or it's used for evil, and that's all people know. Unless you come here and sit in this council. Because the counsel you get here is not wicked and not good. It's transcendental. You learn the essence of knowledge, which is not subject to past, present, and future. Not even the bad devil worshippers, the Illuminati guys out there, the Luciferians, who think darkness is light. And even those who think light is brighter than the darkness are still not even seeing the light yet. Nobody knows what real light and darkness is. Are we still broadcasting? It looks like everybody's frozen.
Nobody's frozen. Maraj, can you hear me? But nobody's frozen here on my end.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. So I'm just going to reload. So I'll be right there.
Okay.
Okay, we're back, right? Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so people don't know what is, so there's knowledge. There's knowledge that can be used for good and evil, but that's still in the world. It's to do like you can even use how the world works in the material mind, the material emotions, uh, the material world. You know, this is knowledge in the world. But you know, to God and to the devotees who have transcended this material knowledge, they considered ignorance. Even Saint Paul talked about this. He said that the knowledge of people in the world, the even the intelligence they think they have, is foolishness to the Supreme Lord. See? But he never explained it very clearly, not like we do. This is the upgrade. This is the update that everybody gets here. You know, if people understood the value of what we were doing, they will in time, but right now it's pretty unknown. Because what we're teaching and distinguishing out here, a knowledge, an understanding, an information, a happiness, a truth far beyond what people are teaching in the world that people cannot distinguish. They just, you know, you're either a good person or a bad person or a combination. You either have good knowledge or bad, or you have knowledge but you use it for good and evil, like in the Star Wars movie on the Force. See, but this transcendental knowledge is amazing because it's perfect. It's God knowledge, true knowledge, not God religious knowledge. That's not good either. That's all they take the transcendental awareness of these great souls who come here, these transcendental personalities, and they speculate on it and they mold it for material purposes, and it basically contaminates it. See, so anyway, we have knowledge now. We come in a line. It's beautiful. It's perfect. It destroys our illusion. It teaches us. We become attracted to a knowledge that is spiritual, that draws us into the spiritual dimension of consciousness. You become unmaterially motivated. See, you're not interested in controlling the mind, not even your own mind, not like people do, or want to program your mind. You know, there's no need, because now you live in a whole new dimension of consciousness. You have spiritual emotions. Like here, this is called Sadhu Sangha. You're sitting in the council where we're ascertaining truths that are transcendental to material life and nature. They liberate the souls of the world. This is why you can only get it by hearing and discussing these transcendental subject matters that are actually interesting to what people call God and his intimate associates. So what do you guys say? What do you think, Tom? You look a little in shock or something. Let's get him up. Let's examine Thomas here a little bit. Ooh, he's not moving. I'm trying to move you over. There we go. Yeah, are you okay? Are you doing all right? I think you're muted. Or is it me? Maybe it's me. Let's see. No, it's not me. I don't think.
Maharaj can hear you fine. I don't understand why.
Oh, yeah. Tom, yes, say something. You're muted, Tom. You're still muted. Is Tom muted? River? Can you hear him? No, you're muted. Okay. So, River, give us a word.
Everything that you've just been saying, it's just like a layout of movies. They always have a council in a movie. They have this council, and they all look to that council, and usually the council is corrupted as well. Here in this council, this transcendental council of the Sadhu Sangha, it's for the benefit of all. It's not. We are coming away from the material kind of selfish individual kind of me. We're coming away into that and being in this council of transcendence, which is for everyone, to bring in Krishna, Lord Chaitanya's mission for everybody. This is a real council, and we are becoming like that more and more and more. The real council. The true council is amazing. It's wonderful. It's great that you said that today, actually, in that quote. Yeah, it's really, really great, because you can see the difference between material council, and the way they are, because they have their own individual, what's the word? Whatever they want to do individually for themselves to have a better life here. But here, we don't want to have a better life here. We want to have absolute truth here. We want to bring that here. We want to be sheltered by that, and have a council that people can look to, that really can look to, because this is Krishna's movie, and his council is building here right now, more than ever before. So people have a safe place to go to. The real government, the real true government, because this illusion is not real. But everybody's stuck in everything that thinking it's real. Now this is transcendental. This is the real Krishna's government here. That's Krishna's coming through and giving us everything that we need. It's really wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this knowledge is transcendental to the material knowledge. Knowledge to do with the material body and your survival, and stuff to do with the world. Even science is all about analyzing things, or it's all about the world, and stuff like that. But this knowledge, it's about what is transcendental to the material world, and that's who we really are. See, people they're cultivating who they're really not, and then they get all corrupted. And you take a side of a good or evil person. Oh, the evil is basically you have an intense hankering for material things. And when you got enough of that, like, that's why these wealthy people, it's just intense hankering for wealth, and they, by hook or crook, and done anything to get it. We hear the stories now. They've killed people. They've killed millions sometimes to get their monies and stuff. They don't, whatever they can do to get that, and then once they're not, that isn't satisfying still, then they go after control. It's a control of what? Stuff, people, resources. Then you start to look at even people as bodies, as cattle with no soul, because you're soulless now. You're cut off from your soul. And so here, Sadhu Sangha is developing the consciousness and awareness of your spirit body. Everybody's got that. We're spirit beings, but that's what Jesus came to bring. He didn't come to bring religion. He came to, in religion, everybody's still identifying with, how to get ahead and how to control people. In religion is just like politics too, especially now. They want to use religion to control people and the masses, and control their bodies and their minds. They think people are their material minds and their material bodies. And that is a lie. The truth is we're spirit, man. That's what Jesus came to start this going. Get the Holy Spirit, which reveals the truth about who we are. You see, and so here we're continuing. In Vaishnavism is a great contribution to bring us even deeper into that understanding that we're spirit. See, now, like, if anybody says, well, we're going to control your body and your mind. Well, good luck. I mean, you can control the body. Okay, so that's a temporary thing. I'll have to tolerate it as long as, you're doing it. But it's going to die at some point. But I know who I am. See, and what are you going to control my mind? It's impossible. You can't control the mind, my mind. My mind is already controlled by the Lord. I don't identify with material things and stuff and mind stuff and the worldly things, but there's nothing to control in there like that. See, you can't control those things, like, or program stuff. See, because the mind here, this Sadhu Sangha, is to program our minds with the absolute truth. See? And so that's out of the jurisdiction of Maya. It's out of jurisdiction of the demons and the demigods. It's out there. As a matter of fact, they have a hard time understanding the mind of devotees who are liberated souls. See? Liberated in devotion, liberated by that verse, chapter 23 in Majjhila Lila. See, not even the greatest scholars can understand the mind, the emotion, the plans of a person who is immersed in transcendental mellows of love of God. Nobody can, they can't conceive of it, because you're identifying with spirit. That's the whole point of our teaching here. That's the whole point of this Sadhu Sangha, the whole point of expressing this way of worship, because it brings us to that platform. It's why Lord Caitanya came here. Lord Caitanya came here to give us this way of worship in spirit and in truth, like Jesus said. See? The spirit is the devotion spirit. See, and truth, it reveals the truth, like these things here. This is why we can have Sadhu Sangha, because of this spirit and truth worship. And it becomes, that's how we transcend the material world, material mind. See, it awakens the spirit, it nourishes the spirit. See? Otherwise, we've got no hope. We're just lost in this. See? And that's why, this is the best time. Like I put a status thing up there. The best option now is that when you don't have any future to collectively look forward. There's no collective future to look forward to uh, unless you're a madman, unless you're actually insane. Because the future that's collectively trying to be, what do you call, visualized and made is nothing, it's dystopian. It's nothing that only a crazy person or a sheeple that is programmed and controlled and manipulated would look forward to that. Would what sane person would look forward to thinking that they will be happy owning nothing, and owning nothing and being happy in this world, see, and have no privacy. See, only a dystopian, only somebody that's crazy would think that, or somebody that's enlightened. See, that's the other side, but most people don't have that. You see, they want to take away your physical and mental privacy. They want to take away, Maya wants to take away your ownership, where you're a slave of the state, and you got to do the state's bidding. You're like this. But the transcendental side of this is really the other option. The only real viable option is that privacy is already people. God knows everything that everybody's doing anyway. There's no computer that can do what he does. He sees through the eyes of everybody because everybody is connected to that Lord. It's just part of it. So there's nothing to really track and trace. If he wants us to be aware of something, he'll make us aware of it. See, and in a sense, a devotee feels they own nothing. They're just passing through this world, but they may own so many things in this world, but they don't identify like that. See, so they're actually free. That's the other side of that freedom. No room left for conditioning. Yeah, and that's the conditioning. See, so people, the evil people, they want to condition people and control them, use mind control. That's why I use the media and all that stuff to control their minds. And the good people want to liberate people by, they want to do something good for people. See, it's the good people. This is good and evil. See, they have always. See, but it's still, and the good is to bring them what? Oh, you can have usually something material, some goal that you want and everything. It's still separate from the interest of the transcendental Lord. It's only the devotees who know the transcendental interest of the Lord. See, the interest of the Lord is to free everybody from Maya, the good and the bad people. They're all stuck here in this material universe. Okay? They're stuck here because they don't have transcendental knowledge that comes in a disciplic line. They don't understand the value of having a spiritual master that is actually a liberated soul. Even in these groups, they don't understand the value. ISKCON doesn't understand the value of having a spiritual master, not clearly. They had contact with Prabhupada, but he didn't teach them that. Oh, by the way, after he goes, you should have somebody on the same level as Prabhupada, as your Shiksha Guru. They didn't teach that. I mean, he actually did. It's in his books, and he actually spoke about it too. But still, not everybody got it because most of the leaders were corrupted by the chance to usurp the opulences of such a personality like that. People who own nothing usually always turn to God. Rich people think they can control God. Yeah, exactly. That's good there, Roddy. Let's see. So, how to distinguish truth from lies? How would you say? River, how do you distinguish truth from lies? What's your answer?
With now more so with energy. With energy, people can say one thing, but you can feel something else from them. To now can distinguish between what the energy just absolutely with being here, with the classes, with reading the scriptures, constantly being in the past times and experiencing the past times now, more so than ever before. But for me, more so energy. The change in the energy with tells me more so more than anything than ever before. But for me, that is what I wanted, and I needed. I needed to know that to be able to distinguish that.
Yeah,
It's a little bit, but it's a lot.
yeah,
It's a little bit, but it's a lot. I don't know. Yeah, with you, just being in this shelter constantly, regularly in this association, being under the shelter of this association of absolute truth. Well, it gives us that as well. But
yeah,
regularly coming here and
yeah,
staying connected regularly without, it's like if you go away, the jungle grows over you again.
yeah,
So you need to have this shelter because of you being the live wire, the parampara. We need that link. That is our greatest gift, to have this parampara and you as our live wire to hold this space for us. So yeah, you can really
yeah.
see. It actually changes you and transforms you because you stay away from the illusion as much as possible, unless you're preaching, and then you have shelter. You have that shelter to be able to do. Yeah. So there are many things. It's this place. It's in this. It's in the shelter of God because He sees everything, and He's there for us, even if yeah. Thank you, Maharaj. I'm really hot. I'm not very well, but I'm just really hot.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No problem. Yeah, okay, that's an interesting answer. Okay, yeah, yeah. Well, what the way I see it is, in this world, everything is a lie. See, and the truth is what is eternal. Truth is who we really are. See, we're spirit. We're actually servants of the Lord. See, that is the truth. See, the lie is that you're not a servant of the Lord. The lie is the truth twisted. See, the lie is, that you're a material body. See, there's all these lies. Even persons that never lie, they never lie. Maybe they're in the mode of goodness, but they don't. They still don't know the absolute truth until they prove it. That they see. Say like Jarasandha, he never lied. He always told the truth in this world. If he was thinking, he wouldn't lie about anything in the world, worldly stuff, right? And he was considered a very pious king. See, but in a sense, he was living a lie, because when Krishna came to him, see, this is the truth that you get in Bhagavatam. See, this is the real truth. This is the truth that lasts forever. See, Krishna comes. These stories are about truth, about what is real truth and what is the real lie. So Jarasandha, even though in the mode of goodness he never lied, he told the truth about stuff in the world, he was a liar and he was a cheater and he was a misrepresenter, a misguider. Because Krishna came on the scene, who is the absolute truth, eternal truth, and we're all his servants and devotees. And he blasphemed Krishna. He said, "You are a low person. You are a rascal. You are." He was actually glorifying, because that's the nature of Krishna. He's very low, very humble, and he's a rascal. And Pranam, he's always joking around, doing stuff. So anyway, he meant it like you're a bad person. See, and so he told so many lies when he met Krishna. See, because Krishna is the absolute truth. The Supreme Lord is the absolute truth. His incarnations are all the absolute truth. See? And the other truth is a devotee who loves that Lord. See? Everything is revealed that's important to be revealed to those kinds of, to that devotee, because they actually are in their transcendental position. That's why you want the best guidance in the world. You need to go to a liberated soul. They'll tell you the essence of truth. Everybody else will lie to you. These gurus are all lying to you, every one of them. If they are not situated in the absolute truth, they're liars. They might be nice guys. They might be like Jarasandha in the mode of, like, he was a pious king. They might be pious gurus. They might be in the mode of goodness and everything. But just by the fact that they are not situated in their eternal service to the Lord. I mean, if they are, it doesn't apply to them, but I don't think so. I don't think there would be one of them that can come here and show us that they're prema bhaktas. Do you? You think there's anybody? You think Purishit could come here and show us he's a prema bhakta? He says he's got more ecstasy than here, right? They say a lot of things. See? So in a sense, this whole world is a lie, and unless you're a resident of Vrindavan, you're a liar. Unless you're in your eternal prema, transcendental loving relationship with the Lord, you're more or less a liar. Boy, it's tough, man. Huh? It's like all or nothing, isn't it? It's like am I saying a lie, or is that the truth? See? This is what you get in the Bhagavatam. See, that's why I say you use the stories. See, the stories are the absolute truth. That's why I love them. Devotees love these stories. They love these books more than anything in this world. These books are actually the book form of Krishna. They love to talk about the absolute truth, just like you like to talk about your baby when you have a child, right? Oh, well, that's their little child, man. Yeah. See, this is what, and as you hear, about this absolute truth, you find, wow, this truth is really attractive. Wow, Sadhu Sangha is really attractive. Look at you guys. You come in every day practically. Even Tom is coming here almost every day. See, it's attractive. It's you find, when you that, and that's why you cannot what do you call, do this. You can't do this as a listener. Come every day. I mean, really, I can spend a few hours a day or more. A lot of devotees, you're listening to the devotees here, giving classes. Because what are we talking about? Absolute eternal truth. Yeah, showing it, showing. Oh yeah, this is what a devotee is like when they're worshiping the Lord, or talking about the Lord, or chanting the Lord's name over there in spiritual world. They cry, they laugh, they chant. You get to see, you get a little view. You get a little preview of what it's like there. And if you say, very good, what do I do to be saved like that? Oh, we just come here regularly. Hear these nice topics of truth about who you are and who God actually is as a person. Listen to these topics. Okay? It purifies you of conditioning, conditioned by your mind thinking you're a material product. You're a material object, or you're a selfish person, wanting it. It's all about me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. Yeah, you realize you become so enthralled and attracted to Krishna, you forget about that false me. It's not real. It's called false ID, false ego. You used to have an identity by thinking about yourself, this material mind and emotions was you. But now you find, oh, I see, spiritual emotions. That's the real self. That's my real self. Is loving on the Lord, transcendental, loving, ecstatic love, and revelation about who God is. Relishing the revelations in the scriptures of the revealed. You're able to collect the valuable jewels in the minds of the revealed scriptures, because you got the mercy of Lord Caitanya, because it comes through the real guru. Oh, yeah, Guru Tattva, we're talking about that. That relationship to the Lord of Vrindavan or the Lord of Navadvip comes through his real associates and nowhere else. That's why after 50 years in ISKCON and all these other groups, there's still, all glories to the rules and the regulations. All glories to Varnashram Dharma after 50 years. Still, they haven't even entered the real Bhagavatam yet. Where Veda Vyas was unhappy because he did all of those rules and regulations, and he even taught them, and he taught subjects of liberation, that you're not this body, you're a spirit soul. He's still unhappy until he got the real guru, see, Narada Muni, ecstatic devotee, and taught him the ecstatic subject matters. Oh yeah, glorify the Lord more profusely, directly. Tell stories about the Lord. See, and then your heart will be satisfied. See, that's Bhagavatam, man. That's the beginning. Are you like that out there? Anybody in ISKCON? Anybody in Gaudiya Smiti? Are you still glorifying Varnashram Dharma and etiquettes and following the rules and the regulations and the ceremonies and the flowers and the trees and the birds and the bees? Many present themselves being a saint, but turned out to be a snake. Well, that's another thing. People, this is why everybody comes to the point of realizing they need a savior. I mean, that's why I was talking to a devotee about this yesterday. I won't say who it is, but it's a very valuable lesson. So I won't mention any names, so don't get burned out if it's you who said these things out there. But it's a great, important teaching, so thank you for your service. Oh, isn't it idol worship to, people putting up your picture, Go Haridas, putting up your picture. Like, let's see, Tom has a picture of Go Haridas up there. Isn't that idol worship? Isn't that what all these other gurus are doing? They all say they're the one. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? See, and so should we not do this? And so anyway, my answer was, and this is something that everybody needs to learn. Again, we use the pastimes. You see, there is Pundraka who represented the false Krishna, and then there was the real Krishna at the same time. Isn't that interesting? But you would never be able to distinguish the false Krishna from the real Krishna in this world unless the real Krishna comes in and gives you a different experience. See? So a lot of people, they think, well, I've been cheated so many times from these false gurus who don't really add anything to me. And you finally realize that after sometimes 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of following these persons who don't get you what you're looking for. I mean, really looking for. Because if you're really going to a real guru, ideally in your heart, you should really want the God. You should really want this relationship. Otherwise, you may get something else because most people are not really qualified. Okay? And they give you something else. And if you're satisfied with that, then you'll go off with your little candy in this world, like they did. They go with many people, they come, they take a position like in religion, like the Pope or a minister, because, oh, wow, or a control. They get money and control and worship. It's like God, like being a God. Okay? So, person coming because they want God, they actually want this, they want to be saved or something. Often they got to confront the false acharya, the false prophet. You notice, see, false prophet, false acharya, false guru, false God. It's all the same. The only way, way what is a false God is you get that falsity from a false guru. If you found the real guru, you're going to get the real representation of God. You're going to get the real experience of God if you find the real guru. So why wouldn't you put pictures? Putting a picture up of a real guru like that is showing that you're on the real path, man, that you're on the real surface. Now you're really useful to God, because the Lord would be very happy if you put a picture of a real guru in front of people's faces. Say, hey, go over here. There's a door there. You can get out there. Is it true? Am I lying? Or does that make sense why God would like you to put a picture of your guru around? Or sayings of your guru around, if they're the real kind of guru that liberates people, that you can see are liberating people with your own eyes? Do you see that's different than an idol? An idol means you idling your time. You sit there, worship these false, bogus gurus, and you get nothing in return, basically. Nothing spiritual. Maybe you get a big sannyasi stick that you can beat people over the head with, or you can proudly carry around looking important. But you don't get God, and you don't feel God. You don't feel transcendence. You're not lifted to the spiritual platform. You don't have spiritual emotions awakened. It's different, the false acharya, false guru, than the real spiritual master. Can you see that logically, and why God would want you to put a picture of your guru if they're the real deal, finally? For the liberation of the world, if it's really true? Why do you think Jesus sent his devotees around to preach the kingdom of God, which was him? He's a bona fide guru. You get what he says. You're going to get the Holy Spirit. You believe in me, all your sins will be forgiven. That's bona fide spiritual master. That's what people got. That's what these gurus need to find. They didn't understand Prabhupada good enough. And we're to really make it very clear. You get the real Krishna, man, from the real guru, because they have the real Krishna. They prove they got the real Krishna. They convince you they got the real Krishna. They show you. And the Lord wakes up in you when you listen to them. That's proof. That's how you become a witness. If you have faith and you come and you follow the process. Don't I teach the process? Follow the process. The book is the process. I teach the book. You go, you find a bona fide spiritual master who's absorbed in transcendental mellows and relishes bhakti, relishes devotional mellows. Cries, they laugh, they choke up because of their genuine, intimate relationship with the Supreme Lord. And you listen to them and get purified, and then that love of God awakens in you. That's what the book teaches. And if they're teaching from Prabhupada's books and they're not teaching that, and you're not getting the experience of that, which you won't because they don't teach it, and you can't follow that, you follow something else that leads you somewhere else, and the blind leading the blind. You want that? You want to continue that? You think there's time for that? You go that way. I tell you what's in the book, man. You follow. I say follow this process, and you'll get it. If you come and you listen here, and you listen you develop faith that this is really real deal. You hear attentively, and you see the devotees absorbed in the mellows of the Lord and not cheating you, and your heart starts to become happy here, and you start to be free of your miseries, all your speculations, and all the lies, the conditioning you've accepted as truth, which were lies. And then you say, yeah, that's really true. He's really teaching me what's in that book. Then you have faith not only in the devotee, but in the book Bhagavad. I'm here to teach you to have faith in these books. You can't have faith in Prabhupada's books who don't present them as they are, because they don't work, as you see out there. You just do mundane Vaidhi Bhakti Varnashram Dharma, and work for these gurus, make them a lot of money. Why? They can't add anything to you but more rules, more regulations, more mandates like the government. And you keep worshiping like sheeple, like these sheeple worship the Faucis and the Bill Gates and all these guys who don't want to do you any good or can't do you any good. They got no real power to do you any real good, but to just wipe you off the planet. These gurus not much better. Either you're a resident of Vrindavan or get off your seat, man. We're here to deliver people. We're here to deliver Krishna, the real Krishna to people, where they get an experience of Krishna. Love awakens in their heart so they can, which reveals the true transcendental Lord. And you will laugh, you will cry, you'll have all that nature that you'll have the transcendental nature that the Lord has. And then you'll be fit to associate with our God. See what people are saying here. True. I don't do pictures. I write poetry to express my thoughts and heart. Nice. Plaster your picture everywhere then. That goes for any real guru, but they're very rare, We have to, I think we're going to have to, we're generating them here. I can't, you could put 1,000 gurus with some of the advanced devotees here. Not even 1,000 of them would add, would what do you call, would add, would be the same, would be equal to one of these ecstatic devotees who got the real mercy of Krishna because they followed the real way. See, people following the book here. See the procedure, the very simple procedure in Chaitanya Charitamrita in first chapter on the spiritual master. Therefore, you're getting transcendental experiences. And you can see, you look at River, you see she's following. Um, she's following, she believes in her guru, she listens to her guru, she comes regularly, she's surrendering to her guru. What do you mean surrender is not false kind of thing. She's surrendering to these words, these conceptions being taught here. I'm not looking to be surrendering to a guru. A lot of people answer, "Oh wow, surrender to a guru." What that means is they control your mind. Mind control. No, that's the MK Ultra and the government. They want to mind control you. That's religion, man. That's the Pope. That's ISKCON. They want to control your mind. See? I just bring you to awaken your heart so your heart is controlled by the transcendental Lord. Your heart is controlled by the pastimes of the Lord. By this spiritual greed, like I'm controlled by the pastimes. You become controlled. We are all controlled by the true Lord. Like Lord Caitanya was controlled by the name. Aren't you controlled by the name? Those who are awakened, don't you love to chant the Lord's name in ecstasy, awakening? Should you desire ecstasy was a question of a devotee. Oh, you darn tootin'. If you desire ecstasy, that means you desire Krishna. That's the whole problem is these people don't desire ecstasy. Sometimes even newcomers here don't desire ecstatic worship. Oh, what do I need this for? Well, hey, man, you do. Everybody needs it. We need it to get out of this material universe. It ain't good enough to believe in astrologies, or ascended masters or angels. You need an ecstasy beyond what they got. You got to be worshiped and, you be able to teach even the demigods. Well, that's what my master is giving me. That's what my master is giving you through this process here. You'll be teaching the demigods because you'll be experiencing the grace of Lord Caitanya. That's what this Sangha is all about. The grace of Lord Caitanya. That is here, and nowhere else have I seen it. And I've been investigating it. If it's somewhere else, show us, but I don't think it's anywhere else. It's got to start somewhere, and it looks like it's starting here. So who's behind our program here? Listen to your bhakti coach. See, I'm here to fire people up. Fire myself up too at the same time. Charity begins at home. So Freddie says, how can people see materialize that Guru and his disciples are liberated? The laughing. Oh, Govinda's there. Okay, here we go. See, the laughing and crying they see as material emotions. Well, that's why we're here to teach about that. You see, what do you think? Why do I do so much friggin' talking? You know, that's what you got to also do. You got to explain to them why you're crying and laughing and what that is. And we have all these books. It's not like we're without knowledge about this stuff. See, transcendental emotions are part of the worship. They're the most important. Like a leaf and a flower offered to Krishna, saturated with devotion, right? Hear about that. But not just material devotion. You see, these are ecstatic, spontaneous feelings, and we teach all about that. That's why you got to come. You got to come and listen to subject matter about real truth that's not of this world. This truth is of the spiritual dimension of consciousness. And just by hearing it, you're raised up into that. This is better than the satsangs that the Mayavadis have, which raises your consciousness to that level. That's called meeting in truth. Well, we're here meeting in the absolute truth on the highest, deepest level. Like you, and like me, when they are ready, they get an affirmative experience. Yeah, explaining these things. But you see, that's why we have Prabhupada's book. See, it has his approval now. When I started teaching these things about Lord Chaitanya's Leela, he was very happy. Oh yeah, this has his full approval. Um, yeah, it has his full approval. We're here to teach people that are ready how to enter the kingdom. You can't enter the kingdom of Vrindavan, not all the way there, through Vaishnavas who are not liberated souls yet. They're not real Vaishnavas. When we look at the pure term of Vaishnava, it means an eternally liberated soul. They're purified because of this devotional awakening in them. They're made eternal servants of the Lord. It's like when Lord Chaitanya would embrace somebody, uh, they got the ecstatic symptoms. Okay? And then they became eternal, confidential, eternal servants of of God, of Lord Chaitanya. See, you get that embrace here, even though you may not see the form of the Lord because it's subtle. He's unmanifest. But you'll feel that embrace when you get the mercy. And you start to get ecstatic, just like that devotee was a Maharaj Prataprudra and his son. They got the embrace and they started to get shaking, by touching the body of the Lord. So that happens here also. You make people laugh, I make people cry because you set people free. Whereas I always, every day, give them their bills and taxes. Yeah, the postman can be like second, second on the thing of for hating the government, especially now. The government going to get bills and taxes now. Oh no, the postman is coming to give us more bills and taxes. So you can't get enough of chanting and the pastimes. See, that's the grace that you see. That's proof that you got the mercy of Krishna through the bona fide disciplic line. You know how many people are in ISKCON and all that, and they're still, after years in these gurus, many of them, they're not still not attracted to the Lord. You can't get in any other way but following the process. You have to find an empowered devotee in the Gaudiya Vaishnava line that is deeply attracted themselves, that does cry tears of ecstasy like you read about in the books, and teach you very deep, uncommon truths that are as it is. And then you start to get ecstatic emotions and get really attracted. Now your life is perfect. Now you're a liberated soul like Govinda and others here. What's so difficult? What's the difficulty? Understand these things. The difficulty is called speculation. It causes confusion. Not being a real spiritual master as a resident of Vrindavan is the problem. Not being used by the transcendental Lord because you don't worship the Lord in ecstasy, in intimacy. The other problem is if you don't give respect to those devotees, and respect by listening to them, the liberated souls, and you give respect to the good gurus or the bad gurus. There are good and bad ones out there. Can you tell the difference? Most people can't, not very well. And then that's all you can tell. Oh, this is a good guru, an honest guru. He's still a liar too. Can't help it. He's in the mode of goodness. He's still a liar, like Jarasandha. Or you get a bad guru. Oh yeah, this person is definitely, he's a bad and passionate. He hates people. He's controlling people. He's really, using people, tricking them. See, so you're not blessed in the counsel of the wicked, and you're blessed into the mode of goodness and some better sight in those who see in the vision of the mode of goodness. But everybody's still lying to you on some level. So blessed, the really blessedness is in the mode of pure goodness. See, pure goodness, real blessedness, real auspiciousness is transcendental. It liberates you, not just brings you into a demigod position. I'm not satisfied just getting people to get a good material situation as a demigod or a good birth in a Brahmin family. I want to see people liberated, free from the cycle of birth and death, free from even taking a demigod body. To live in their transcendental body now, already making progress here. We got 4, 5, 6 already in there, maybe more. We got big goals here, man. We got to follow, we want to assist the Lord. He has big desire, doesn't he? His name is will be Vishvambara. I want to praise that name, Vishvambara. If we can assist him in filling the universe with love of Krishna, love of Christ, whatever you want to call it, same. Better Krishna though, topmost form. It's Radharani's form. Might as well get her form. She likes Krishna. Go with what she wants. You get the best. Even if we explain these ecstatic symptoms with invitees, keep on saying we are sahajas. As long as they have experienced themselves, they can't believe it. Don't worry, Freddie. We'll wear them down. Their potency will diminish because they'll get exhausted, and ours will increase. You notice our potency increases, theirs decreases. I thought all my laughing and crying and spontaneous love for Krishna had stopped, that ISKCON killed it. But Gurudev woke it up again, so I write poetry. Yeah, see, that's the thing. It'll only grow in this association. But you got to be careful showing it too much because of your situation, if you got eyes on you, you got too many eyes on you, and they say, "Oh, that's too different." They'll section you, you know. Especially if you've ever been sectioned before, you got to be more careful. You know, you got to be wise like a serpent. Watch out. See, I've never been sectioned, so I can get away with a lot more stuff. Plus, I can explain my feelings pretty good. You know, I've been at this for many years now. I can appear sober when I want. Yeah, Lolita's traveling to Turkey. Yeah. Didn't get very far as usual. Okay, another verse. See, desiring to understand the glory of Radharani's love and the wonderful qualities in him that she alone relishes through her love. See, without this love of Radharani, which is in our line, it's the love of Krishna, the love that Radha actually has. See, the love of Vrindavan. See, we will not understand or be able to appreciate the qualities that are in Krishna. See, the qualities described in these 10th cantos in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat, Radharasa Sudha Nidhi. See, proof that you found a real guru here is look at you guys were never attracted to this like this, and look at you are now. Yeah, many devotees here reading Radharasa Sudha Nidhi. These are the deep qualities of these highest devotees and Krishna, and you're crying, you're laughing, just like the devotees, showing that that is you have the qualification. And that's why you naturally feel gratefulness to your guru because you know you would never have gotten that on your own. Hey, this is just natural. You just oh yeah, natural, yeah, because you get real intelligence. You see your real position. Right? Okay. Hmm. And the happiness she feels when she realizes the sweetness of his love. You see, realizing the sweetness of his love. So you see how it's so intermingled here in the verse. Only devotees that are steeped in that kind of love can relate to this verse. That's why it's in postgraduate. Only devotees can somewhat explain it if the Lord see if the Lord gives you the experience. And otherwise, you can't explain the glories of this verse. It's just some what do you call it, like a metaphor or something that is just some poetic thing that you don't understand. See, this happiness that comes when you realize, this is spontaneous love of God. This is Krishna's love. This is Krishna's happiness. Is his love. This comes from him. Radha comes from him. It's his expansion. That's why she has the marks of a god on her feet. Also, you notice Radha's markings. They're a little different than Krishna, but still they're the markings of God. That's how close she is. Sometimes even devotees have the markings of God, and it shows you how close they are, like a Shaktavesh avatar, like Maharaj Prithu. He also had some markings of God on his feet. Actually, all devotees are marked by God. They're marked by the Lord's presence, being living inside them, besides them, in overshadowing them, empowering them. When you're with a real devotee and you're hearing their word, it's different than anything that you've ever experience. If you're in illusion and the word bounces off you because you're envious and jealous and you're covered with all these things, well, that's as far as you went. The word didn't go in very deep, which people have to be careful of here. Sometimes the word goes in and you feel its joy, like Jesus said. Sometimes the word goes in and you feel joy, the joy of it. See, the joy of that word, of the kingdom, because these are the words of the kingdom, and you feel the joy. But if it's got to take deep roots, so keep coming, keep listening, get that rooted deeply in you. Otherwise, you could go away. I've seen it. I see people, they feel the joy of the Lord, but it's still not deeply rooted in, and sometimes they go away. Their false ego gets a bit whacked, and then they leave. Because it didn't go in deep. So everybody, if you're, just continue coming regularly so that the word can go in deep and you get a very deep experience of God, of the absolute truth. So it stays there, stays deeply rooted in you. This association here is so valuable beyond what any of us can understand, really, until we just experience its value. Ooh, I think I'm going to have to stop again my voice. See, and the happiness she feels when she realizes the sweetness of his love. See, this is why once you experience this love of Krishna's love, spontaneously awakening in you when it goes really deep, you'll never experience a happiness as good as that. That's what hooks us. That's why I keep coming back for more. You become addicted to this love of God. You become addicted to Krishna's love. It's the most incredible happiness. That's these verses you get to see in the people. The people who are a recipient of the mercy of this parampara, you get to taste that happiness of the love of God. It's beautiful. It's the most fantastic happiness. And then you realize everything else in comparison isn't like that. See, Sachi knows. Yes, it is. This associate is most valuable. See, that's what keeps her around. She stayed around many years. She knows the situation. The associate is valuable. You start to know what is real valuable, and that's when this is of value to you. Then you're of value to the Lord. You become very valuable to the Lord simply because what's valuable to the Lord is valuable to you now. That's part of teaching of a real spiritual master. False acharyas are not valuable to God and not valuable to a real devotee or a real spiritual master unless they are used for preaching. That's why I take their service. Thank you very much for your service. You help me distinguish the real from the unreal for the benefit of you yourself and your followers. At some point, people will understand these things. I have doubt moments. Yeah, it's part of the program. Yeah. A little bit more. I think I'm going to have to stop here. My voice is coming. So, richly endowed with her emotions, appeared from the womb of Sachi Devi. See, so Lord Caitanya was richly endowed with her emotions. And his eternal associates now are also richly endowed with those emotions. The happiness that's the real line. The real line you find of Guru in the real line is richly endowed with these transcendental emotions, or they call transcendental mellows. If they're not in the real line. The world needs to know that now. That's why I emphasize this. People have been not emphasizing this. They think you can go to any of these thousands of gurus they crank out in ISKCON. You think 1,000 of those gurus are endowed with the emotions of Radharani? You notice this is in the first chapter of Adi Leela on the spiritual master. Can you see? First chapter, it talks about this high thing, right? Well, if that's not you, if you're not empowered with those emotions, then you're not the real spiritual master. The world needs to know that. Otherwise, it's going down. People are being destroyed by ignorance, by not understanding chapter 1 of Adi Leela about the spiritual master. Most of you don't have spiritual masters. That's why you don't have the emotions, the being richly endowed and more enriched with these emotions. Because if you have the real spiritual master, this will awaken in you and develop, otherwise not. Like Eon says, he said they went to ISKCON and didn't develop. Yeah, because they don't know these things. They don't value spiritual. Nobody is teaching that. Their gurus don't teach them to value that because they don't value it themselves. They don't even know it's of value. That's why we're here. That's why we're teaching. That's why Gohar yells so much. I guess. Isn't that amazing? The highest thing is right in the first chapter. Because he indirectly is saying this is the spiritual master. You have to have a person who has a recipient of the mercy of the Lord. Janaki, he is endless. Just keep it coming, keep it coming. Okay. See, I surrendered to the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, who is known as Sankarshan, in the midst of the Chaturguha, consisting of Vasudev, Sankarshan, and Pradyumna. He possesses full opulences and resides in Vaikuntha Loka, far beyond the material creation. So there you go, man. So you need to find the only way. A lot of people say, "Oh yeah, I surrendered to Nityananda. I surrendered to Nityananda." See? But then when you find the real servant of Nityananda, you don't surrender. That's the position of most people. See? They say, "Oh, we surrender. Oh, Nitai, 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 Nitai." But no Nitai. See? The way you surrender to Nityananda, when you have this experience, you come in the parampara, you meet a bona fide servant in the real line of Nityananda Prabhu. And then you get the same Nityananda, the same ecstatic bliss that Nityananda has comes through that guru and no one else. You don't find the real line, you don't find the real Nityananda. You just a show in a bottle. You show bottles. This man putting on a show, some superficial show, you prancing around with your big sticks on stage. Oh, Guru Dave, give me mercy. Oh, yes, take the mercy. And nobody asks, what is the mercy you want? I don't know. I never think about it. I just see these other devotees say, give me mercy. And I repeat like a monkey, like a parrot. Give me mercy. Well, everybody's asking mercy. Everybody just accepts the guru. Why did you accept this guru? Well, everybody else does. I mean, he's in ISKCON or he's in Gaudiya Smriti and he's memorized the verses. They all agree that he's Guru Dev. See, those are called sheeple. See, you have sheeple in the world. Well, Fauci said so, therefore it's so. Oh, Bill Gates says he's my doctor, therefore I believe it. He tells me to get the shot that's good for me. Oh, okay. See, you do that with your friggin' gurus, man. Well, they say he's guru. Yeah. You don't ask the question, is Fauci qualified? Is he telling me the truth? Is Bill Gates, does he have any motive? Does he intelligence says follow the money? You got a lot of investments in that little thing there, huh? I think I smell a rat. And you do. How about your gurus? You ask, well, who's the real, are you really qualified? What is your qualification for being guru? Well, they said I was, I just went and I had a fire sacrifice, and they gave me a sannyas uniform. And I always really wanted to be guru, I just always, God, to be worshiped, that looks like a great happiness. That ras of tasting, oh boy, being important. I always wanted to be important. I always wanted to be acknowledged. That's a contamination here, isn't it? You find out really fast when you want some name and fame here, what you get. Kick in the ass. There you can get it, not here. But go on, you got some name and fame. Well, you taste you chant in ecstasy for 30 years, and then you'll be able to handle it. Otherwise, you'll think there's some happiness in the ras of being important. I don't find any happiness in being important. I find my happiness in glorifying those who are really important. That's what I teach here is how to get happiness. Like you start a lot of you're happy about because you got liberated by association with a genuine guru, and then you promote your guru to help others find the real path and also be liberated like you. Isn't that a great job that God gives you? And you're happy with that. Not everybody. We've had a few who wanted to be competitive with that. The ones who are really getting are deep in the Ras. Their hearts are purified. Therefore they know the real path. They teach it. Oh yeah, come to my guru. Yeah, yeah. You will very easily get liberated from illusion. Oh yeah, I'm happy being a disciple because the Lord put me in that position. Eh? Some people say, Gore, why don't you just be a Rhythmic? Even here, people say, maybe you should be a Rhythmic. Why don't you just be a Rhythmic? See, then everything gets screwed up. It's just like a person who comes to be a disciple, but they don't acknowledge I'm a disciple of this guru. This guru has saved me, man. I got Krishna through this guru. Therefore, they conclusively, even the book says that is a spiritual master. Oh yeah, we all need to go to that spiritual master. Some people are not happy with that position. They want to be guru. They want to make it equal or something. I also tried that, been there, done that. Prabhupada gave me the order and I did it for a while. Then I thought, well, maybe, Narayan Raj is telling me something different. These other people are telling me something different. Maybe I should be a Rhythmic. Maybe I should go follow these persons. And I tried, it didn't work. You just got to follow the real instruction. I realized Prabhupada was right. Just follow the book. Oh yeah, the book says the person who's qualified to be guru is absorbed in transcendental mellows. And it says that, chapter 1, can transmit transcendental mellows to others. So I just follow the book. I follow the order. Prabhupada said, come on, follow the book. You got these emotions. You got this knowledge, you understand things because of those emotions. You have the happiness of real devotees. So get off, start doing some real work, man. Liberate the world. They're going to hell because they don't know where to go. They think they can go to gurus who don't have such transcendental emotions. See, and I also did, well, I don't know. This is a high thing to be, maybe I should just be a Rhythmic. Anyway, that didn't work out. I got to go by the book. And you also, and as your bhakti matures, you will also be guru. You will also liberate people. Even now, you're liberating people People respect you. If you're teaching the real path and the right way, everything, the real devotees looking for Krishna, you will help them. You will guide them properly because the Lord in you will be guiding people. He'll give you the right intelligence, clear intelligence. Because you're Bhagavad Gita 10:10, worshiping the Lord in ecstatic devotion, therefore you get the right understanding. I'm a disciple of a show bottle, and now I'm stuck in the bottleneck. Yeah, there's the purified show bottle. We're bringing you to the show that's in the bottle. Otherwise, you're on the outside trying to lick the honey. That's what they're trying to lick the honey from the outside. We bring you in the bottle where the real show is, but you got to go in through the neck. No going in, you don't, it's the only hole to get into the, that's the only hole to get into the real show of Vrindavan. Oh, Freddie listens, good. Okay, I got to stop it. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, give us a word. We'll end this here. Give us a word there, River.
It's a great show. Just to sit down and listen, it's so pleasurable. It's actually so pleasurable, and it is because of going through purification. It is because of just removing my focus to other things, to the illusion, to that which is real, and it is each class is relishable. And Kruna will say, "Oh, it's the same," and you know what he says, rare, rare, but it's not, because you inside, when Krishna is speaking to us while we hear you, he's saying something different every time to us. And I hear you say different things, and it depends on what platform you're hearing it on, or what level you're hearing it on. It's really, I'm settled. I'm settled in the family, and I'm settled in absolute truth. There's no point going and banging your head against the illusion. How often are we going to do that? It's so nice. It's safe here. It's a place to be able to really truly grow into transcendence. Just remove the illusion out the way. If we don't keep hearing the illusion, if we don't keeps being pointed out, and if we don't, if it's not pointed out what the gurus are doing, then they're getting away. They're getting away with what they're doing and leading people down. Like you say, the blind leading the blind. I feel settled here, and I know things happen with me as well. But even that, I feel really so settled here, and it feels so like home. And it's just like the Wizard of Oz, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, because she was dreaming when she was in Oz. She was dreaming, and we're dreaming this. It's like a dream, isn't it? It's in a way, it's a temporary kind of like a dream. And now we meet Krishna through you, and that illusion is just being broken. It seems to like more so like things keep crumbling down around you. The illusion is just like crumbling down, like around you, and a life is evolving, a different life, and we are being held in this, because this is spontaneous, and we don't know this kind of. We've been held by Lord Caitanya through you to be able to walk this path with you. And so I do feel really, really fortunate, and really fortunate. Thank you very much, Mohammed. It's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, this. Thank you. Yeah, basically, people, the way Maya is working, she programs people, and she has her servants, right? These are the people, they're in the world motivated by the less intelligence. It's less intelligent to be materially identified as a body. It's not. It's not true. See, so we're deconditioning people by using the truth. The absolute truth is a deconditioner. It puts you into the real ID and identification of who you are. It awakens who you are. That's why the word is very important. So the word is the word of God. In the beginning was the word. The word was with God. The word was God. There's two meanings to that could be important. One is the illusion, and the one is the true Lord. Okay, so people make their God when they're materially identified as a body. Their God is material minds. The material people who's are servant of the illusory material mind and bodies. They identify themselves as that. See, so that's your God, and that's why there's a certain point in evolution where you realize, oh, that doesn't work very well. These persons are not really wishing me well, or they wish me a little well, but they can't, give me what my heart is desiring. Keeps you moving on, to a different God and gods, like all the way up into the demigods, and even the demigod worship. It gives you some happiness, but it's not perfect. See, until you get the real transcendental Lord, that's the Lord of the demons, the demigods, he's the Lord of all creation, whether you know it or not. People are either directly or indirectly worshiping the Lord. That's Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first verse. The Lord is being directly or indirectly worshipped. When you're worshiping the Lord in the modes of nature, as the modes of nature, forced by the modes of nature to worship like that. This is you're indirectly worshiping the Lord. Directly means you're worshiping in truth, in the absolute truth. See, as it is, as the Lord actually is. He's the master and you're the servant. See, that's absolute truth. And then there's some more depth to that. That's these intricacies, where the Lord, you could be worshiping the Lord by him being your son. See, well, that's another deeper subject, and we'll go there sometime. But still, the Lord is the master, and we are the servant. See, Vrindavan is kind of difficult to understand because what's going on there is similar to what's going on here. Here in this world, you don't know that the Lord is your master, right? Well, in Vrindavan, you also don't know that Krishna is your master. You think that you're his master or he's your friend, intimate friend, your buddies. Or you just think, even as a servant, you just think, oh, Krishna, I'm just a servant of a really great person. See how the Maya of this world, the Mahamaya, the antithesis, the opposite of that is Yoga Maya. See? This is when you start to understand this truth or get to learn about this truth, you found the highest truth, and it's the best of all. There's no other truth better than this, because it's about this can only be ascertained by ecstatic worship and by hearing the revelation from an empowered devotees, and they're rare. So let us go about our day in our way. Have a great day. Thank you for coming, everybody.
Thank you.
Oh, I forgot to ask Tom. You have a word? Here, Tom.
Yeah, does my function now?
Yeah, you're functioning.
Okay. Yes. Boom. I was just thinking that where we focus, there is our God. People have a God, and that means there is their focus. They are focused on that. So that is determining the direction where they're heading to. And some can focus on the mode of goodness. Some can focus on beautiful woman, lust, name it. But that's your direction. and did this. Well, when I when I focus on the highest quality, then I come to this, and that was my improvement. That was my when I felt this quality, the other qualities they dissolved into the background, and my focus became more here. Simple.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, this is if you stay long enough and you're sincere, you start to see that this is the best knowledge. Absolute truth is the best knowledge. It's transcendental knowledge. You transcend material consciousness. That's what life is all about. Universally for everybody, whether they know it or not. Some people spend their life in this universe thinking about this goal, that goal, this life. They're thinking, oh, I think I want to attain a nice situation, a big house, and a lot of servants, or whatever, all kinds of material goals. And you spend your whole life. That's called illusion. You're not going after what's really true eternally. You don't know that this life is ultimately about, to be free of it, really. I mean, unless you say, well, life is about, to me, is to be in this place. I want to be here in this prison, even though you don't think it's a prison. It is a prison. Your soul is imprisoned. It's not free. Everybody wants to be free. Even the demons want to be free. Nobody wants to be a slave, unless you're crazy.
Yeah. To listen here to you, it increases the ability to distinguish, and to discern. Yes, it becomes more and more clearer. This I was going for this goal, for this quality, but now I see and I feel and I taste there is a higher taste, there is a higher quality, and then it goes very natural. This progress, very natural and
Yeah,
conclusive.
yeah, yeah. Because when your soul begins to be awakened, you find that, oh, it's actually more natural. It's natural to be happy. It's natural to be blissful. It's actually unnatural to be depressed and to be suppressed. It's unnatural not to love God. It's unnatural to love a dog or a cat. I mean, really, the way I hear people talk about their animals, it's like, it's just a fucking animal, man. It's an animal in the mode of ignorance. And how can why not love something that has intelligence? But anyway, that's
Unnatural, that it's conditioned.
I'm gonna get
It's
in trouble.
conditioned. It's learned. It's not natural. It's conditioned. Adi.
Yeah, it's conditioned, and you become subservient to love of something in the mode of ignorance. Even children. See, what you need is this purified love of God. Then you can appreciate things in this world, but not be bound in illusion. You might come back. People don't understand what I'm talking about, but Bhagavatam does. If you're overly attached to an animal and you love that animal, and I mean excessively, at the time of death, you'll probably be thinking of an animal, and you'll come back as that animal, like an animal like that. So Bhagavatam teaches that. Bart, was it Jade Bart or Bart Maharaj? When he renounced the world, he went and he started doing bhajan, and he got to the point of bhav, where he felt, elevated in ecstasy in doing his worship. But then this little cute little deer came along whose mother, died. And so he started to take care of it. And he became very attracted to that deer. So much so he gave up his practices. Okay? And all of a sudden he wasn't doing his meditation or chanting or whatever he was doing. And he just fallen in love with that deer, and he felt sorry for it, and he was thinking about it all the time. And then he died suddenly, and that was on his mind, and he came back as a deer. See? So I got good news for you, attached animal lovers. You don't have to be like Bart Maharaj because you can't do it anyway. Just come here, become attached to Krishna, and it'll all work out. Everything will fall in balance. Isn't that nice? Everything is much easier here. Otherwise, you'll go into religion and they'll tell you to do things that even many of these gurus are not even doing. They're just making a show, but they'll tell you you've got to do it. Like I told you, when I was Tamal Krishna was telling me, you got to eat this sugary halava every day, and just whatever they give you, just humbleness, and you got to sleep on the floor, sleep on the floor. And then I was served him one day. He had nice pizza every day, or whatever, delicacies, and they sleeping on a beautiful soft bed with a canopy on it. Oh, not even just a bed, nice soft bed, but a canopy. See, so that's there's so much hypocrisy on the level of religion. Isn't this nice? You don't have to be anything special. You just be empowered. Then you're automatically, to the Lord, you're special, and to those you liberate, you're special. It just comes with the territory. Yeah? Loving God is everything. It's all in one solution. You come here, that's all we work on, loving Krishna. Getting this Bhakti Lata Bij, attraction to the pastimes of the Lord, attraction to the name of God, attraction to these truths, and you're pulled like a tractor beam right out of the material universe. Where it grabs you, it just pulls you right out.
Yes. So this inquiry, yeah, this investigation, what attracts me? What is my real motive? What is my honest, sincere motivation? It brings a lot of clarity and um, wow, I feel there's a lot. It's very beneficial to sincerely inquire your own motives.
Yeah. Yeah. See, my mother loved her dog so much when it died, she had it cremated and wanted it to be buried with her. Yeah. I mean, this is meant when our soul is awakened, this love is meant for God. We all have this intense love for God. But if that's not awakened and we misidentify our love for something else, like some objects in the world, then we remain in mundane consciousness. See, we don't develop spiritual consciousness. See, like if you love Krishna, you love God. If you come here, you'll get, because we have grandmothers out there. Everything is more in balance automatically. They naturally love their grandchildren before and all this and their families and all that. But now it's better love. It's a more clean thing. It's a more pure. They're not attached, not materially attached. Yeah, that's Bart Maharaj. But here you don't have to do such a. Bhagavatam was thousands of years before Lord Chaitanya's grace. So anyway, we got that now. We got a lot making a lot easier for people. Okay, I got to shut up, my